This video going out to one of them PLP ministers I like, Chester Cooper. And I want Chester Cooper. They said Chester Cooper would make a great prime minister, but the move he made in Abaco was a great move. We got a crook and a thief. I don't mind calling him a thief because he got fired for thieving from Batelco. Thousands of dollars from Batelco. And Chester Cooper is replacing one crook with another crook. Chester, Deputy Prime Minister that spent more time being Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas than Brave Davis, because Dave Davis happened to be a fly-in Prime Minister. They spend more time outside the Commonwealth of the Bahamas since being elected than being in the Bahamas. But Chester, do your homework and ask the administrator that you bring into Exuma, buddy, why did you get fired as a young man just starting out? You had one of the most lucrative jobs of anybody your age as manager of Batelco Mars Shaba, when Batelco was bringing in over 250 million or their amount in the country. And you got fired for not stealing, because stealing is a white word. You was a black thief, and still a black thief, and still no good and good for nothing. But thank you, Chester, for your intelligence of not doing your investigation, like Russell would say, in-depth investigation, to rid Exuma of one crook and bring in another crook. Then you look at the crooks of all crooks, Chester Cooper. Every time I turn around, that big statue is behind you. Neil Campbell. Neil Campbell was a trainee administrator. And Neil Campbell stole more from the people of Abaco after Hurricane Floyd than any single individual in the history of after hurricane. Neil Campbell. And guess what the PLP did? Send that good lady, Brenda Coldbrook. I guess Brenda was F&M. But it's sad to be an F&M. Even if you have a good character and you're not a thief like Neil Campbell, I don't even know what to do with my girl, Brenda Coldbrook. But thank God for the service that she did. She was a upright lady. Lady, I said. And you replace Brenda Coldbrook with a known thief, Neil Campbell. Neil Campbell and his wife, who was a corporal in the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Hubert Ingram had them both in the Mars Shaba station lock up. While Hinsey, I don't even know Hinsey first name, or the first Hinsey I ever met in the Bahamas. I saw Hinsey a couple months ago. I saw him on a line from back on. I knew who he was because I saw him up in the roof investigating Neil Campbell stealing government land in Bella Triplex in Central Pines. It's a new day, all right. All y'all doing is promoting thieves. My brother said, don't call them stealing, not too polite. There's a thief, black, no good, crooked thieves. Administrator Neil Campbell and Donald Roll. No good, good for nothing, and they in charge. That's why Farron Noble could incriminate local government. He could give the members in local government in Dundastan contracts in his first month in office as chief councillor and chairman of Dundastan. Broke down the oldest building in Dundastan, the Dundastan Burial Society. And my people, they're grinning because Farron draw a beautiful picture of a building that he was gonna replace the one that he ought not break down, because you have to have permission from the the committee that hosts. I think Don Cornish is in charge of that institution now. Any building over 100 years old, you have to have permission from the government before you broke it down. But Farron Newbold and his little friend there, Cecil Ingram with can't see no wrong in Farron. If Farron tells Cecil to jump off a cliff head first, he ain't gonna think. It is sad when you see one man have that kind of hold of another man. Something in the damn milk ain't clean. Man ain't supposed to dictate man. Something wrong. Cecil, get it right. Y'all break down the only building that church people would never go to the bar back then. The drunkards would never go to the church. But you had the church people and the drunkards with the bar will all be present when Dunderstan Burial Society #1, under the leadership of John Ward, will call a meeting. They will be present. That's the only place that all of Dunderstan will be present on one accord at the Dunderstan Burial Society #1. And one Negro. 2, Farron Newbold and Cecil Ingram broke it down without any committee member agreeing with it, with any body from the Nassau base that should say whether a 100-year-old building is broken down. And if the building had structural damage, and we would have told a structural engineer the significance of the building of the Dunderstan Burial Society #1, the structural engineer, would have showed you how to keep it. But they didn't have to tell me. I already knew, because I looked at the structure after hurricane. I said, wow, this building withstood Category 5 hurricane. The walls were up, the roof was gone, so was Farron House. But he didn't break his house down to foundation. His house was compromised. The same hole that was in the wall at the Dunderstan Town Committee, Farron House was right next door. He had the same hole in his building, and he restored his house. That's what you call a nigger. But he break down the community building and promised that the first building that he would rebuild would be the Dunderstan Community Hall. And all them fools believed that the only building he did was a little graveyard wall over a year later. It's one of these kids trying to educate Chester Cooper that you got a bunch of thieves, that if they were in America, they will be doing 2 lifetime for the crimes they've done working with the government, the crime they have done against the government and its people. Mine, they get free car, free housing, but they still can't stop thieving. They want to live a lifestyle that's above their means. So of course, they have to do fraudulent thieving deals to maintain a lifestyle that they can't afford. I down here in this little place, and boy, comfortable. I like Hubert when them white boys wanted to buy Hubert a house, the Prime Minister house. Hubert say, I can't find Dolores in this house now. What I can do with another house? That's the best thing Hubert did. It didn't let them white boys build no house for him and Dolores. God bless him. But Chester Cooper, you're surrounding yourself with a bunch of thieves. Kai kids, that's why I'm telling you this.